Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So a few weeks ago, I did this video talking about popular luxury handbags that I personally have no interest in myself. And the idea behind that video was, a lot of the times we see all the same things on social media and everyone seems to be raving about them, but not everyone likes the same things. And if everyone liked all of the same things, then luxury shopping would no longer be interesting in my opinion. So I wanted to follow up that video with today's video, which is kind of on the same topic, but it's kind of like the everything but the bags edition. So I'll be talking about luxury items in general that I have no interest in buying. And of course, this is just my personal opinion and it might be an unpopular opinion too. So if you like any of these items, feel free to let me know that I am completely wrong in the comments down below. And do also let me know what luxury items you have no interest in buying yourself. And yeah, let's get into this video. Let's start with what is maybe the most controversial out of everything that I have on my list. And I have absolutely no interest in buying, for example, like the mini pochette or the toiletry pouches or the key pouch, anything in the monogram patterns that are SLGs from Louis Vuitton. I will say though that I have the Kirigami pochettes and I really like those, but that's kind of the exception, not the norm. So in general, I have no interest in any of these canvas SLGs from Louis Vuitton because for me personally, even though I don't collect SLGs because of how pretty they are, I still want the ones that I personally have to look pretty. And I just don't really find the monogram canvas or any of those canvas prints from Louis Vuitton, I don't really find them pretty. I don't look at them and think I have to have it because it would look great in my collection. I know that this is definitely an unpopular opinion. I mean, just looking at their website, almost all of these items are always out of stock. So of course, a lot of people want them. Yeah, I just have no interest in any of these SLGs from Louis Vuitton, which is probably a really good thing because I think I would be so frustrated trying to track any of these items down. And next I want to talk about the Hermes Avalon blanket and the pillows. So I feel like a lot of people get these items. Well, specifically the blanket, people seem to get it just to display and not to actually use. And I am not a big home decor person whatsoever. I don't really buy things just to display on shelves and whatnot. I really only buy decor pieces if they're also functional in some way. Like I would buy coasters that look pretty, for example, but it serves a purpose in my house. And yeah, I mean, you can argue that, well, you could lean on the pillow and you can cover yourself with the blanket to keep warm. But for me personally, I have very sensitive skin and I looked up the composition of the blanket and it's mostly wool with like a tiny percentage of cashmere. And cashmere doesn't make me itch, but wool always does, no matter what type of wool it is. I know people will say that, but it's really soft. No, it will still make me itch and I will not cover myself with a blanket at home when I should be comfortable and scratch nonstop while I'm trying to watch TV. So yeah, for that reason alone, it's just not for me. But also it's just really, really expensive and I don't think it's that pretty either. And next on my list is shoes from Amina Boadi. I hope I'm saying the designer's name correctly. So basically they're the shoes with the tulip shaped heel. I think that's the term that people use to describe it. And specifically, I wanted to talk about their Begum pumps, or yeah, once again, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So there's the PVC versions, which are an instant no for me. I don't even have to really think about that because I have a pair of Gianvito Rossi pumps that have the PVC bits on like the center of the shoe. And I never wear those because I don't like seeing my toes all squished in there. And I don't think other people like seeing it either. So just for that reason alone, I would never get those shoes. And I think they're like over $1,000 for PVC, which is insane. But even the satin versions, I have no interest in it because It's not really anything revolutionary, like the Hang Easy pumps from Manolo Blahnik have existed for so long, and those are definitely way more classic and they won't look dated in a couple of years. And also, I'm just not a really big fan of that tulip shaped heel. In my opinion, it looks a little bit clunky, and if I wanted a stiletto heel, I would get that, and if I wanted a block heel, I would get that. So this in between type of look just really doesn't make sense to me. So Hermes Makeup. I don't know if it's specifically because, there were new releases, but my Instagram feed has been flooded with pictures and swatches of their lipsticks and their blushes. And I was curious to see how much these items cost, and they cost more than I thought they would, because sometimes Hermes items, you expect them to be really crazy expensive, but they're surprisingly normal in terms of designer items. But these makeup items are so expensive. A blush is $77 and a lipstick is $67. And just comparing it to Chanel, for example, you can buy a Chanel lipstick, with the case and all that, for less than it costs to buy a refill of these Hermes lipsticks. And I already think Chanel makeup is quite expensive. I mean, there's the lipsticks, for example, from Christian Louboutin that are more than the Hermes lipsticks. And to argue if it's a gimmick or not is a totally different topic. But at least with the Louboutin lipsticks, that shape of the tube or whatever that lipstick case is, it speaks to the designer itself with that stiletto heel looking cap or whatever. I'm using such technical words for makeup, aren't I? But yeah, at least that kind of speaks to the designer and the history behind it. But I don't think there's anything super unique about the cases or the packaging or anything of that sort for Hermes, aside from them giving you an orange box, but that's kind of a given. So I think this was definitely a cash grab. And yeah, the beauty industry is like $1 billion industry, so of course they want a slice of that. So mark my words, Hermes is going to come out with skincare in the next few years for sure. And for the last item, I want to talk about designer slide sandals in general, but specifically I wanted to mention the D-Way slides from Dior as well as the Oran sandals from Hermes, because I feel like everyone seems to either have one or the other, if not both. And personally, I am not a really big sandals person, especially flat sandals. And on top of that, especially slides type of sandals, because I think I'm just scarred from tripping and injuring myself while wearing flip-flops from when I was younger. There was a time that I tripped walking up an escalator in a pair of flip-flops, and I still have the scar to remember that incident by. That also happened on, I believe it was my 16th birthday too. So yeah, completely scarred from that incident. And also I have a question for you guys. When you wear like slides, like if you have the D-Way slides or the Oran sandals, when you wear them, do your feet get really dirty, especially your heels? Does it get really dirty like it would in flip-flops? I mean, for me, I am kind of a germaphobe, so I don't want to see my feet, like the bottom of my feet, being all black after wearing a pair of sandals out for the day. So yeah, it's just not for me personally. But if you were deciding between the D-Way sandals and the Oran sandals, I think I would say that the Oran sandals is a better deal because it costs $100 less than the Dior pair and you're getting more leather. So don't really understand why people would go for the Dior ones over the Hermes ones. So that is it for this video with all my unpopular opinions of luxury items that everyone but me seems to love. And as I mentioned before, this is meant to be a lighthearted video. So if you like any of these items, don't let my opinion stop you from liking them. I mean, what's important is that you love what you spent your hard-earned money on. It doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and do let me know in the comments down below if there's anything that you don't see the appeal of, even though everyone says the opposite. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing for new videos every single week. And I'll leave 2 videos on the screen for you to watch next. So I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.